Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, hopefully, dimensional analysis day one went well for you. Here, we're going to start with dimensional analysis day two. It's really just a matter of making them more difficult, more steps. That's it. If you don't already have it out, you're going to need your conversion sheet out as a reference. I will be going back and forth between the notes and the conversion sheet. Whenever we do these, in order to get full credit, you need to show your known, your unknown, and the plan. Okay? Remember, we're going to two decimal places and making sure we include those units. Our first example, we have 4.2 kilometers equals how many millimeters? So our known is 4.2 kilometers. Our unknown is how many millimeters? To make our plan, we're going to start with kilometers. I'm going to go here to my paper and I'm going to try to find kilometers. They do happen to be right here. And that takes us from 1 kilometer to 1,000 meters. The reason these are in parentheses is they can be interchanged with meters. So this could be meters, grams, liters, or second. But our first conversion unit that we're going to use is 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Our next conversion unit, we are not to our millimeters yet, so we need to keep going. We're going to look for meters and hopefully millimeters. Here is meters and millimeters. So we have 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters. All right. I'm going to start with my known and put it over 1. 4.2 kilometers over 1. We're going to multiply, put our known unit on the bottom. The number that goes with that is the 1. Put our second part of our conversion factor on the top. Next, we need to go from meters to our millimeters. So meters is on top. We're going to put meters on bottom. The number that goes with meters is 1. On the top goes the other half of the conversion factor, so 1,000 millimeters. Then I'm going to use my calculator and multiply all of that out. So in my calculator, I'm going to put 4.2 times 1,000 times another 1,000. You should get 4,200,000. And our units, kilometers, is both on top and bottom, so that cancels. Meters is both on top and bottom, so that cancels. And we're left with millimeters. Go ahead and make it apparent that that is your answer. In example number 2, our known for 1,052,160 seconds. Our unknown is how many weeks? Okay. So, like I said, we're going to go from seconds to weeks. that would be down here further. So I have seconds to minutes. That's still not weeks. Then I'm going to use minutes to hours. Then I'm going to do hours to days and days to weeks. So that's a lot to write down. So we have 60 seconds equals 1 minute for our plan. Our next one is 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Next we have 24 hours equals 1 day. And finally, 7 days equal 1 week. Okay, so I'm going to start with my known. Except that's not right because I didn't copy it. Sorry about that. 405. So my known is 4,052,160 seconds. I'm going to put that over 1. So seconds is on top. My seconds is going to go on bottom. The number that goes with seconds is 60. And 60 seconds equals 1 minute. From minutes, I'm going to go to hours. 60 minutes goes on bottom, so 1 hour. From hours, I'm going to go to days. 24 hours in 1 day. And then from days, I'm going to end up where we want to be at weeks. So 7 days, 1 week. Use my calculator to do the math. Remember, if it's on bottom, we're going to divide. So I'm going to take 4,052,160 seconds. I'm going to divide by 60. Divide by 60 again. Divide by 24. And then divide by 7. I got 6.7. Now, what is our unit? Seconds cancel, minutes cancel, hours cancel, days cancel, and we are left with weeks. Make sure you highlight that, put a box around it so I know that it is correct. That's your answer. Okay. Moving down to example number 3. What my known is 252 centigrams. I'm going to go to kilograms. That is my unknown. Looking at my conversion sheet, I'm gonna need the top. So I'm going from centigrams to kilograms. I'm going to look here, centa to regular, to our base unit, then from our base unit to kilo. So 100 centimeters in, 100 centigrams equals 1 gram. And then 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. Start writing out my dimensional analysis with my known. 252 centigrams over 1. Centa is on top, so I'm going to put centa on bottom and use my conversion factors. 100 goes with the centa. 1 gram goes on top. Grams here. 1,000 grams is on the bottom, right? So that those cancel out. And I want to end with my unknown, 1 kilogram. Gonna go ahead and use my calculator. Remember, if it's on top, we're going to multiply. If it's on bottom, we're going to divide. So I have 252 divided by 100 divided by 1,000. You need at least 2 digits. So I have 0.00252. If you stopped at 25, that's fine, but kilograms is our unit. Make sure you square it so I know that's your answer. Example number 4, I have 10 weeks equals blank minutes. So my known, 10 weeks. My unknown, question mark, minutes. Okay. So I think we can come up with these on our own. We are going to start with weeks. So 1 week equals 7 days. 1 day equals 24 hours. 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to start with my known, 10 weeks over 1. Weeks is on top. I'm going to put weeks on bottom. The other half of the conversion factor is 7 days. It goes on top. Days is on top. I'm going to start my next conversion factor with 1 day on the bottom. The opposite, the other end of the conversion factor is hours. The 24 hours. Finally, I'm going to go from 1 hour to 60 minutes. Now that it's all mapped out, I am going to go ahead and use my calculator to multiply because they're all on top. When you multiply, you should get 100,800, and our unit, after everything cancels out, is minutes. Make sure you put it in a square so I know that that is correct. For our very last example, it says arrange the following from largest to smallest. So what we need to do is convert all of these to a common measurement. So we need to go from meters to something, inches to something, feet and inches to something, and then yardstick to something. So let's look for a common conversion factor that we can go. Remember, we have meters, inches, feet and inches, and then a yardstick. So I'm going to look at this English to metric. I have meters, inches. So I can go from meters to inches. So inches might be a possibility, or meters. The second one's already in inches, so that's a plus. Our next one is feet to inches. We know we can convert to inches from feet. We've already done it. Then we have a yardstick. A yardstick is a yard. So we have yard to centimeters or yard to meters. We could go from yard to centimeters, from centimeters to inches. So let's do that. Let's go with inches. Okay, so we're going to convert all of them to inches. So for letter A, we're going to go from 1.21 meters blank inches. So my known, 1.21 meters. My unknown, question mark, inches. So I have inches, 1 inch equals 0.0254 meters. 1 inch equals 0.0254 meters. Okay. I'm going to take my known 1.21 meters, put it over 1. My meter goes on bottom, so I'm going to put 0.0254, just making sure that's correct. And that equals 1 inch. So I'm going to use my calculator. 1.21 divided by 0.0254. It's going to give me 47.64 inches. I'm going to go ahead and write that right here next to A, because I'm going to erase my work. 47.64 inches. Our second one is already in inches, so we're good there. For our third one, we have 3 feet 5 inches. And I need to convert that to inches. The only part that isn't in inches is the feet. So for C, I'm going to need to go from 3 feet to however many inches. And then I'm going to add my 5. Okay. So to go from feet to inches, we know, I don't think it's actually on this paper, but there are 12. Oh, my known is 3 feet. My unknown is question mark inches. Okay. So for my plan, I'm going to go with 1 foot equals 12 inches. Put my known over 1. Multiply. Feet is on top here. Feet on the bottom. My number that goes with feet is 1. And the other half of the conversion factor is 12 inches. Use my calculator. 36 inches. And don't forget to add those 5 back in. because it's 3'5" rattlesnake. So 36 and 5, 41 inches. Let's not forget this was 47.64. Okay, inches. For our next one, letter D, we're going to go from a yardstick to inches. So my known is a yardstick. My unknown is question mark inches. Looking at my thing, remember we're going to go from yards to centimeters, from centimeters to inches. So 1 yard equals 91.4 centimeters. One centimeter equals 0.3937 inches. Go ahead and set it up with what I'm starting with. 1 yard. Put it over 1. Yard is on top. Yard is going to be on bottom. Now the other half goes on top, so 91.4 centimeters. Now I have centimeters on top, so I'm going to write my 1 centimeter on the bottom. On the top, I'm going to write my inches, 0.3937 inches. Go ahead and multiply those out. So 1 times 91.4 times 0.3937. I got 35.98 inches. Now I'm going to put them in order. So the order would go largest to smallest. It looks like the 75-inch rope is largest. Next we have the chain. Next the rattlesnake. And finally the yardstick. That's day 2 notes. You guys do have an assignment, so if you have a question, please feel free to ask. I know this is kind of a new topic, and as we get further into it, we might run into more problems. So please let me know if you have any questions.